Hi everybody, welcome to Leaning Left. I'm David Rodriguez. I'm here to talk about something that I know we're all sick of, including me. But unfortunately it has to be talked about. He has to be talked about. I gotta talk about Donald Trump. Now, he's announced that he's running for president again. He announced very early, almost as if he was trying to avoid some kind of criminal charges or something. But you know, this shouldn't be shocking. I mean, he had one term as president in which he was impeached twice. And then he wouldn't admit that he lost the election. So the fact that he's running again shouldn't shock anybody, regardless of any possible pending criminal charges. Now, I hope really strongly that he actually does face prison time. That would be fantastic and very well deserved. And I hope it's really, really a long time in there. Really a long time. But if he doesn't go to prison, we have to acknowledge that Donald Trump is still a threat. And the reason why I bring this up is because if you listen to various news sources, they're really downplaying him a lot. You know, like, his power over the GOP is waning now. He doesn't have the firm grip he used to. People aren't as afraid to go against him as they used to be. You know, he's not doing well in the polls compared to Ron DeSantis, who is somehow maybe even worse, but that's a subject for another video. They're making it sound like he can't possibly win. And I really want to believe that. I really do, a lot. Especially if he becomes the nominee. If he can't win, that's fantastic. But we can't assume that's true because we made that mistake before. When he was running against Hillary Clinton, first, before he was the Republican nominee, he was kind of a joke. Like, no one took him seriously. He wasn't going to be the guy. You know, they were looking at Jeb Bush, for God's sakes. It wasn't going to be Donald Trump. It was a ridiculous idea. Until he got the nomination. Okay. Then all the Republicans who were saying that he would destroy the party and he was terrible and unfit to lead, suddenly they were on his side. Right? They had to be, because he was their guy. They had to follow that jerk. But even leading up to the election, looking at polls, he wasn't going to win, right? Hillary Clinton had it in the bag. It was a for sure thing. I really wasn't even worried about it because I listened to all those polls. All those polls couldn't possibly be wrong. They weren't even that close. It was a for sure thing that Donald Trump was not going to become president. But then a funny thing happened. It wasn't really all that funny. He won. He became the president. And the next 4 years that followed were one scandal after another, one obvious sign of corruption after another, over 10,000 proven lies. It was insane. And somehow the Republicans stayed behind him. And let's not forget, at the end, an attempted coup and trying to overturn the election after he lost. And lest we think that's all in the past, because as much as Fox News tries to downplay that importance at all, there's still a really big portion of the Republican voters out there that think that he legitimately won the election. So, you have this group of Republican voters who's going to be very energized to make sure they vote and get him back in there. They want that really bad. And if he's the nominee, the Republicans are going to throw all their weight behind him again. No matter what they say between now and then, if he becomes the nominee, they will again fall in line behind him. And they will not dare cross him because they're still afraid to cross him now. They'll fall in line. He will be their guy again. They'll push him just as they did before. And no matter what the polls say, he will have a chance to win. We can't count him out. And the reason why this is important to me is because when Democratic voters hear that, oh, this guy has no chance, you know, we don't have to worry about him. He's not even really a factor. He's losing his grip. He's not going to have control of the party, etc., etc., etc. We start thinking it's less important to go against him, right? He has no shot anyway, right? What does it matter if I vote or not? Now, I'm not going to feel that way, but a lot of people will. That's how Democrats lose when people don't vote. When people do get out and vote, Democrats win. But being overconfident that our guy will beat him, whether it's Biden if he chooses to run again, he hasn't said for sure, or somebody else, whoever it might be. if we're too overconfident, if we do not treat Trump as a real, honest-to-God, credible threat, no matter how ridiculous and awful that man is, then we're going to see a repeat of 2016. And as awful as that entire presidency was, you can bet a second term will make it pale in comparison. We might not just lose the presidency, we might lose our system of government. We might lose all of our freedoms. So whatever you think about him, whether you think he's incompetent, as I do, it doesn't matter. Because no one like DeSantis, who is just as awful, if not worse, is going to be able to effectively run against him because he is an entertainer. He knows how to get the people in the palm of his hand. DeSantis has zero personality. He's not going to be able to do it. We have to assume Trump is a legitimate threat until he is absolutely fully out of the picture. So here's hoping for some serious prison time. Lord knows he's got it coming. So what do you think? I mean, do you think I'm right? Do you think that Trump is still a threat? Is he someone that we still have to worry about? I'd love to know. Make sure you tell me in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this. You may have some insight that I don't. I don't claim to know everything in the world. So please tell me your thoughts. Do you think that someone else is going to win the Republican nomination? I know it's kind of early. So far, we just have Nikki Haley running against him as far as who's announced. But Ron DeSantis is almost a sure thing. Do you think either of them are going to take him down? Let me know. I would love to hear it. Do you have any intentions to get out there and get people to vote when the time comes? I know we're way ahead of that. But are you ready to do what you have to make sure that that man never gets a presidency again? I know I am. So if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. Click the little bell icon so you can know about the next time I put out a video. And in the meantime, just remember, if you keep leaning left, you'll always be right.